Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you're new here, no, I am not Jesus Christ. Very unfortunate. However, I can turn water into wine. But we won't be doing that today. Instead, what we're going to be doing is reviewing the Oura Ring 2. You've probably seen a handful of entrepreneurs or crazy hustlers in Silicon Valley wearing these rings, and you're wondering if you should get one too. In this video, I share the pros and cons of using it to track your sleep and whether it's worth the $300 price tag.
SleepGods.com.
I'm Brandon, and if you're new here and interested in increasing your sleep quality, then head to SleepGods.com/video to get my free animated video on 21 sleep tips. To begin with, let's establish why we even want to get the Oura Ring. It's probably because you want to improve your sleep, and being able to track it helps with that. While improving your sleep duration can help, I suggest focusing on improving your sleep quality. Check out my video that breaks down sleep quality and the metrics that are used to track it. The ring comes in black or silver with different finishes, including diamond, if you're all about that bling. Its companion app is compatible with iOS 11 or higher and Android 6.0 or higher. It can store up to 6 weeks of data without connecting to the app, and when you're ready to upload it, simply connect it via Bluetooth. Before the ring is shipped to you, what Oura will do is send you a sizing kit. So what you will receive is various different sizes of plastic rings to try on, so that when the real ring is shipped to you, it actually fits your finger. I chose to pop it on my left ring finger because it feels comfortable. Plus, I'm not worried about making room for an engagement ring because the whole industry is a sham. But anyway, that's another video. It feels comfortable and it doesn't irritate my skin, and it's waterproof up to 100 meters. The one I'm wearing is version 2, which is a big improvement on the clunky and chunky version 1. The one problem I've had with sizing, and I don't know if I can fully blame this on Oura, maybe it's just a funny shape of my finger, but basically I can slip it on quite easily, but when it comes to taking it off, all my skin is pushed up and it's like my fat finger isn't able to allow the ring to slide off comfortably. So often what I have to do is pop my finger in some butter or some oil, just put it around my finger, or even some soap, and then gradually slip it off. So that's the only annoying thing. I don't think I can fully blame Oura for that, but there you go. That's one issue I've had with sizing. Okay, let's talk battery life. Battery life is up to 7 days for version 2. I've found it to last 4 to 5 days on average. It seems to vary, possibly due to the amount of activity during a given day, or due to firmware or software updates. Because of this, I have no consistent charging routine. I don't really know when it's going to run flat. So occasionally I do forget to charge it on a given day, and so I miss out on a day of data, which is a little bit annoying. But apart from that, given that this thing's so convenient, the battery life problem, it doesn't really bother me too much. But ideally, if it were more consistent and for 7 days straight, no issues, even with high activity levels, that would be the dream. Charge time is approximately 20 to 80 minutes, which is true based on my experience. Simply plug the micro USB cable into the round circle thing. When you take it off the charger and slide it onto your finger, make sure that the 3 little dimples are in line with the underside of your finger so that the infrared lasers can shoot through to your veins and know what the hell's going on. A misplaced ring can cause dodgy data. Okay, now let's talk accuracy and tracking. In my experience, Oura tracks metrics with acceptable accuracy apart from REM sleep, and I'll explain why later, so keep watching. The ring determines your metrics by pulse strength, heart rate, movement, and body temperature. Movement is measured with a 3D accelerometer and a gyroscope, so it knows how fast you're moving and what your orientation is. Your core body temperature is tracked by measuring your skin temperature, then running it through the algorithm. You can view your data on Oura's sleep app. Your metrics represent how well you sleep according to a sleep score. What Oura does is it takes all the key metrics, including the key indicators of sleep quality, and it runs it through its algorithm to give you a sleep score. You can learn more about the key indicators of sleep quality in my previous video. You'll also see a readiness score, which is based on your sleep last night, your overall sleep balance, yesterday's activity, and a bunch of other metrics. The readiness score gives you an indication of how well you've recovered. We won't be talking too much about activity here, but I use a readiness score to determine how hard I should work out during a given day. I also use it as an indication for how hard I should push during a workday working on my business. Oura considers 85 a great score for both sleep and readiness. The Oura scores definitely have some issues, and honestly it's very hard to quantify a quality sleep through a score and an algorithm, but Oura does its best. So don't fully rely on the scores. In fact, you can actually develop a bad habit of looking at the scores when you might have got a better sleep than you actually think you did, according to the app. So waking up to that score, and if it's lower than it actually is meant to be, that can cause a cycle of negative emotion to go, damn it, I didn't get a good sleep last night, when in fact, maybe you did. So don't be fully reliant on it. Take it as an indicator, not as 100% truth. Again, I'll explain more later, especially about the inaccuracy of REM sleep based on my experience and some other metrics. Oura also provides an online cloud service where you can get advanced insights about your sleep data. I love using these charts to compare metrics and find correlations. For example, I can see the correlation between what time I go to bed and how it potentially affects my sleep latency, or how fast I fall asleep. The most useful metrics in my experience are wake time, bedtime, total time in bed, and sleep latency. This is mainly because these variables are somewhat in my control compared to something like REM sleep I don't really have any direct control over. I can do things that help me and enable me to get better REM sleep, but at the end of the day, the Oura really struggles to measure that REM sleep accurately, and so it's not something I can directly control, whereas bedtime, I can choose a bedtime to go to bed, and boom, I can instantly see the data, I can see my improvements. So I believe light sleep and deep sleep metrics are somewhat accurate. However, REM sleep, let's talk about that. I do not buy it at all. There's no reliable way for Oura to figure out if you're in REM sleep or not, because it can't track brainwave patterns, and it can't track the rapid eye movement beneath your eyes. These are two key distinguishing factors of whether you're in REM sleep or not. Oftentimes I've woken up from a night of heavy and prolonged dreaming, which is typically where dreams occur in that REM state. However, I wake up and I've got a score of 0 REM sleep. And this has happened multiple times. In fact, the first few months that I was recording my Oura data, I would spend a lot of extra time sleeping and a lot more time in bed. And so it seems Oura and its algorithm, when I first got the ring, has learned that during that sort of depressed funk that I was in, it's learned that REM sleep only happens like 12 hours through the amount of hours I was sleeping. So it's kind of guessing that, alright, REM typically happens in the second half of the night, or the second half of someone's total sleep. So let's go and assume that Brandon's REM sleep is happening in the 10th or 11th hour. And so I used to get scores of, 1 hour REM sleep. And now, more recently, especially in the last few months, after getting out of that depressive funk and really taking charge of my sleep, I now get 0 REM sleep according to the phone, which makes absolutely no sense. And so based on speaking with other users of the Oura Ring and other reasons I mentioned earlier, there's just no way that is reliable data. I feel like Oura's measurement of wakefulness or tossing and turning is a little bit sensitive because I typically wake up on a normal night's sleep. I wake up feeling great and energized and refreshed, even if I've got, say, 1 to 1.5 hours of apparently accorded wakefulness. That's one of the biggest challenges I've had with my sleep, is this tossing and turning kind of throughout the night intermittently, even though I can't remember much of it. So in spite of me believing that Oura's data is somewhat sensitive in terms of tracking the wakefulness goes, it's something I'm happy that the Oura Ring has revealed to me, and the Snore Labs app as well. And it's something that I wouldn't even know I had to improve if I didn't have that data. Other important metrics I pay attention to, especially as far as my recovery goes, is my HRV, or heart rate variability, and also my resting heart rate. Now that's a whole separate video. We can get really deep with those topics, so I'm going to pass on it here, but I've included some helpful links in the description. So has Oura Ring 2 helped me improve my sleep? Yes. Data is power. Ultimately, is the Oura Ring worth the $300 price tag? If you're someone with insomnia or a business owner looking for peak performance, then my answer is yes. If you're an athlete, however, then probably not. Oura's algorithm favors a typical population, and it just can't seem to recognize that you're an athlete, your body's working differently, your schedule's much different, and based on athletes I've heard who have expressed their complaints with the ring, this is a no-go if you're an athlete. To learn more about improving your sleep quality, head to sleepgods.com/video to get my free animated video on 21 sleep tips. And that's time. I have got some disciples to feed. In fact, probably about 450 peasants lined up. And one's approaching, he's got a stick. Some got barrels of water as well. I mean, they're coming fast. They want me to turn this into wine. I mean, I'm a busy guy. Sleepgods.com